Joining us now is Alamogordo Tiger Golf, and Coach, when does the regular season begin for the varsity side? Or I should say the spring season.
The spring season, we play down in Las Cruces on March 10th and 11th is when we begin. And
yeah. You got some JV before that, right?
Yeah, we play, JV plays March 6th over in Roswell, and then they play again March 11th back in Roswell. Okay,
voice you hear is Coach Tommy Standefer, who has been in front of Tiger Golf since 1996. Is that right?
Seven.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
all that means is, what does that mean, Cheyenne?
You're old.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of stuff we've got going on all the time, right there, Charles. Is, making fun of my age and stuff like that. So thanks for that.
Well, one voice you heard there was Cheyenne. You want to introduce everybody else you brought with you today?
Okay, so I have with me Cheyenne Lane, a senior on a girls' team, and Dyson Wright and Landon Wright, two freshmen on our boys' team. And they're here last year at the district tournament. Cheyenne was an all-district player, made the all-district team, and Dyson and Landon tied for first at the district tournament, so they were co-district champs. Then at the state tournament, these two gentlemen then tied again for fourth at the state tournament. And both teams last year at the state tournament, both teams won district last year, and then both teams at the state tournament finished third in the tournament. So pretty good year for as young as we were.
Yeah, absolutely. Figure these two guys were eighth graders last year, and Cheyenne, is this your senior year? Yeah, okay, so in your senior year. How are you guys doing today? Good?
Good? Yep.
Good.
All right, that's what we like to hear. Well, Coach, I mean, you kind of covered a lot of it there. Obviously, it was a fantastic year last season. Tiger Golf, you look over the years, has had a lot of success, and in probably the last 4, 5, 6 years, it hasn't been quite the level that you guys are used to, but it feels like it's kind of getting back up to a level that you sort of expect.
Yeah, COVID hit us hard. It was just the age of our kids whenever we came into COVID. I had a group of seniors that were there, and then I had a crop of little eighth graders, and over the next 2 years I was playing a lot of eighth graders on varsity, both sides, and so now it's finally we finally kind of evened out, and we're back to where we had been for years. So I feel like a good spot right now.
Yeah, obviously got to get out there and play and see how things work out. Speaking of, how was the fall season from your perspective?
We didn't play good our first tournament out as a team, finished second down in Las Cruces. We didn't execute very well on some stuff, and then I thought we got a little tired at the end of the round, and there were some things, and then we went to Hobbs and the Lynx, and we won both of those tournaments, both boys and girls. Now, I will say coming out of the fall, as far as as team stuff coming out of the fall, both teams are ranked third in the state again. The boys, we're all the top 3 ranked teams are within a point of each other, so the rankings are just what it is, just what course you're on. Girls and the other 2 teams there are La Cueva, Volcano Vista. On the girls' side, it is La Cueva, Piedra Vista up in Farmington, Centennial, and us. And Centennial's the 4th boys team, too. So we've got good competition in the district, and we're going to have to step up. So we played good. We got a couple of scores out of the girls' team that I didn't know that we were going to be capable of because we were a little inexperienced. But some sophomore girls stepped up really well. Cheyenne's sister, Savannah, who's also... We have 3 lanes, and they're triplets. Cheyenne's the rep today. And so Cheyenne's sister, Savannah, stepped up and played really well in the fall. On the boys' side, Dyson came out of the fall. He's the top-ranked player in 5A right now.
Wow.
But we know that doesn't mean anything. We still got to go to work. And Landon switched clubs after shooting a really good 72 the first week, and we struggled a little bit getting our irons under control for a couple of weeks. But I think he's the 4th ranked player in 5A. So we're doing the right things and moving in the right direction. So the fall was successful. We learned some stuff about ourselves, and we've moved forward through the winter. And so hopefully we have something to build on.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that those tournaments obviously count towards your guys' overall cumulative score at the end of the season, team-wise and player-wise. So.
Yeah. And, we're not going to get to play at home this year. Golf course has had some water issues, and it's fixing to go under construction, I believe, on Monday. And so we didn't play a home tournament in the fall. We're not playing home in the spring. So everybody else is getting to play 2 or 3 at home, and we're not playing any. So we're learning to be road warriors and overcoming. We had a similar situation back in '98 when they redid the greens at Desert Lake. So, the golf staff there, Grant Daups and Jason Baldwin and the staff in the golf shop, super supportive with us, and I'm confident that the city will get that the construction will get the golf course back in good shape, and we're sure hoping about that.
All right, very good. All right, we'll move over here to Landon. And how about you? I mean, what did you feel like in the fall? I mean, what was, it's for somebody on the outside that, you changed clubs. I mean, how much of a difference was that for you? I mean, what was it that kind of felt different than maybe the previous clubs?
I mean, it was really different because when I had my original irons, I've been practicing with them for countless hours and putting in the work with those clubs, and then just to switch them up in an instant, getting fitted and stuff, just changed it out of nowhere. But now we're used to it, shooting our original scores and stuff like that now.
Okay, so just a different feel overall. Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, definitely. I had to switch the shaft, so it went from 60 to 100, so a pretty big jump from there.
Overall, I mean, did you like the way that you played in the fall? I mean, were you happy with the rounds that you played?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, the third one, not so much. I mean, pretty bad weather in that tournament as well, so a little bit of an excuse, but all right, it's not that bad.
Going into this year, I mean, obviously last year you were an 8th grader, brand new to varsity golf and things, coming in as a 9th grader now. Is it kind of a different feel, different experience, or is it just kind of same old hat for you?
I'd say it's the same.
Pressure doesn't feel any different. It's just let's go play golf kind of thing.
Nope, I've been doing this for 4 years now, so same thing.
You excited about the idea? I mean, obviously you played solo last year, winning district and winning a trophy at state. Is it obvious that desire, obviously, to get up to that blue trophy this year at state this year?
Yes, sir, of course. I think that's always the dream, always the point, to be number one for sure.
And in terms of what you're wanting to shoot rounds on a regular basis, I mean, where do you feel like your number is that you week in, week out? Obviously, weather will have an impact, other things, but do you kind of have something in mind, depending on the course, what you're going out there to do?
I would definitely love to sit around that even 2 over to 2 under range. That would be amazing, and if I can squeeze in a 5 under maybe every once in a while, that would be cool.
We're over here to Cheyenne. How about you? How was your fall season?
It was okay.
It was okay, all right. Maybe not exactly what you wanted it to be? No. Okay. What were the things that you felt like you needed to be better at and that you've been focused on getting ready for the spring season?
I also switched my irons. It did not go very well at all. But I'm better at them now. Learned how to hit them.
Okay, so it's just practice and getting used to it and things like that.
And putting is getting a bit better, hopefully.
All right, very good. So there's triplets of lanes on the team. It's 2 girls and 1 boy, right?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't. I mean, I saw the lanes on there, but for some reason that didn't register in my brain. How is that? I mean, is it fun having your family on the team with you?
It's okay. It's good.
Okay. Do you have fun? I mean, obviously you're usually probably playing with your sister more than you're playing with your brother, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More of Savannah.
Okay, so.
It's okay.
It's very good.
Only this year.
Only this year?
But yeah, it's been good so far.
Okay. So, I mean, Brody's been on the team the last few years, but Savannah's new to the team this year?
They've both been on the team, didn't always get to travel. They've played some JV, got to play in some tournaments, but, just we get to take 5 to tournaments, and we play for those 5 seats on the bus.
Yeah.
And so, they've been with us the whole time.
Okay.
So, Cheyenne has managed to be on varsity for 3 years now, or 4? 4.
Okay.
And why can't I remember that? Let's go ahead and get that shot in now. Go ahead and say that. So
she already got it once.
She's not going to take it again.
She took the one shot. She's not going to take it the second time. Cheyenne, how about for the season? Do you kind of know what's the number that you want to try to shoot this year?
Just low 80s and maybe in the high 70s.
Okay. You feel like you can get there this year?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where do you feel like in your game that you've improved this year? I mean, obviously you talked about your irons and working through that, but I mean, better in short game, driving, putting. Where do you feel like you're better at this season?
I think my irons and my driver. Yeah.
Okay. Just feel more confident with those this year. Okay. Very good. All right. We'll move over to Dyson now. I mean, that's pretty cool to hear a coach saying, just know the fact that you're number one ranked guy in the state. I mean, I know. At the end of the day, you got to go out there and compete and do what you got to do. But, I mean, that's got to be a pretty good feeling heading into the season. Is that true?
Yeah, it is for sure. I mean, you got to – most people, they'll come up to you and, hey, you're number one, you're doing good. But you just got to let that go. Like, you just go play your game. I mean, every day is different. So one day you're shooting in the 60s, the next you might be shooting high 70s. Like, you just don't know. You just got to stay on your game, take it shot by shot. There's nothing you could do other than do the best that you can.
Yeah, and especially with golf. I mean, because unfortunately, it's one of those things that can turn around in a heartbeat for whatever reason. Things are not going exactly your way. I'm sure you have less of that than the rest of us doing those kind of things because you obviously put the work and the time into it. Where do you feel like going into this year maybe that you're a little bit better than you were last year?
I think overall I've been looking at, like, coaches had us keep our stats and stuff, and he really helps us too. He makes sure to tell us what we need to be working on for sure, because sometimes you don't notice what you need to be working on. You just go out there and you're not really working on a certain thing. Really been working on a lot of stuff with driver, irons. I've done a lot with wedges. I mean, overall I've tried to improve everything because there's no point not improving everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for as much as both of you have played golf over the years, obviously it's something that you guys both love.
Yes, sir, for sure.
In the fall, how did you feel like you played?
I played pretty good. I mean, there's a couple that I should have started better, but I rallied it back and played pretty good at the end of them, so I'll take that.
And what was your bad score in the fall?
76, I think.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you had...
And that was in the bad weather? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where were you guys playing in bad weather in the fall?
It was the links.
Oh.
The wind. There's 9 holes over there at the links that's really exposed, and the boys caught it. The girls caught it early, which was a good thing. But the boys caught it at the end of the round, and it was about 40 miles an hour coming across there. And you're having a little trouble controlling the golf ball at that point.
I think anybody would in 40 mile an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. So
yeah, makes sense completely. All right, well, we'll look forward to obviously seeing how the season progresses. Coach, I mean, we obviously got 3 here. We talk about you're going to have to fill out 5. Tell us about the rest of the boys and the girls side this year.
So on the boys side, Carson Gaddis has been our 3rd player for 3 years. He's a sophomore. He came out with us when he was an 8th grader. Carson made the all-district team last year and been with us, and he's a solid part of our team. Jacoby Saldivar Carson's a sophomore. Jacoby's also a sophomore. Played with us all last year as well, so we've got all of those guys back. And Cheyenne's brother Brody, senior, and Gio Montoya are fighting for our 5th spot on the bus right now, and so we'll see where we are. On the girls' side, we got Cheyenne. Ava Armijo, Ava's played for us 8th and 9th grade year. Been at the state tournament those 2 years, been part of the team there. She's back again, and she made a jump this last summer. So sometimes you're watching, you're just trying to be patient. You can see some stuff about to get there. And Ava's one that made that jump this summer. And so if you come and watch her hit the ball, it's impressive. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah, it's like, sir.
Yes.
Got a little bounce to it. And then we've got Ellie Clore played on varsity last year. Ellie had moved in from Carlsbad, and she had a pretty good year last year. Shot around. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Last year, Ava, she shot 189 last year. Most of her rounds were up around 96, 97, a couple into the hundreds. She shot 82 over at Hobbs in the fall, so and kept it in the 80s all fall. Ellie Clore last year, Ellie was right around 100 because she didn't hit the ball very far, and that's a thing in golf. It's further's better. And so Ellie's picked up some yardage, and she shot 83 up at the link, shot 2 rounds in the 80s here in the fall, and shot. So that was a big jump. And Alicia Herrera's also a sophomore. She didn't play on varsity last year, and she also shot in the 80s a couple of times. And then Cheyenne's sister, Savannah, had been struggling down in the high 90s a lot, and she gave us 3 rounds in the low 90s, and probably should have shot in the 80s at one of the places and got a little nervous at the end of the round, lost it. And then our 6th girl who's out there competing, and you're going to find this hard to believe, Charles. It's Dyson's little sister, Kylie, is an 8th grader. And so...
It's almost as if you have a lot of family members that like to play golf or something.
There may be something going on there. I don't know, but we've got quite a few there.
Yeah. And something, I mean, we were talking off the air about this. You've been really impressed with the amount of work that these kids put in not when coach is there, not when, coach is watching you. They're doing it on their own time. And we've talked about this, I think, countlessly over the years of how important it is for them to kind of take ownership of it and go out there and do the work themselves.
Yeah. And there's a point that we have to understand. These are extracurriculars. I mean, it's important to us and it's important to these kids. But there's a point in the afternoons at around 6 o'clock, we're leaving. We're not going to practice anymore. And I do give them the weekends off, and we take a day off every week, usually Fridays, because that's our short day here at the school. And I get to be in meetings. Those are wonderful. I like those a lot. And please leave that in. Don't edit that out.
I will be sure to beat that in there.
Okay.
Being a teacher for 40 years, you've done a lot of meetings for a while.
And so it's important. But the thing is when I give them the day off on Friday, like I'm fixing to leave here and go out there on a day off, they're all there. And on Saturday, they're there. And they work a lot at their golf games. There's a lot of time spent, and that's how you make the jump in a sport like golf, is that time that you decide to spend on your own, that time that you're out there by yourself.
Yeah.
And so all these kids have done a good job.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of them. This is as good a group as I've ever got to coach.
All right, very good.
Don't let that go to your students either.
I was going to say, Landon, when you hear him say that, how does that feel? I know sometimes coach is a little tongue in cheek, so you're never really sure if he completely means it, right?
Yeah. That's cool to hear that from him. Very rare to hear that from him, for sure.
Obviously you guys have loved golf. You play it all the time, but, you could do anything with your time. You could play video games. You could go get a job. You could do this and that. What is it about golf that, you want to spend your free time trying to get better at your game? It's
just the love for that little white ball. It's just very strong, I guess.
Yeah.
Hitting it around.
And it's, as many of us can attest, it can be an exceptionally frustrating game.
Oh, yeah.
So trying to find that little tweak that'll make things better, you can spend days out on the driving range or on the putting green and it doesn't quite get there, but when you can finally get that little change, is that where the enjoyment comes from?
Yes, sir, of course.
So, I get, for as well as you guys are playing, are you starting to get any contacts from college coaches about...
they can't even talk to them yet because they're freshmen.
Can't talk to them yet? Okay, all right.
We are getting some notifications.
We have a little app. It's the NCSA thing. It's a recruiting thing. So you just put all your info in, all their thing, and then they don't come to you. Like, you put it in, and they'll search people just like you, and, it'll notify when they look at you. Okay. But it's not like they're talking to you because they can't yet, but
it's a middleman.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's it's a legitimate thing that happens. So
yeah,
it's fine. But yeah, the college guys can't talk to these guys for. I don't know when the contact age is, but I know it's not when you're in 9th grade.
Interesting, because I hear about football kids signing for when they're 13 and things like that.
Yeah. I don't know how all of that happens, but so
it's interesting.
And it's and golf's funny. You go play in things. These guys play a lot in the summer in y'all do some AJGA and US Kids and some Sun Country. They do several different leagues.
Arizona Touring.
They got a list of things that they go to. It's funny. You go out and throw up a couple of scores, and all of a sudden here comes letters, and you go play well in a couple of those events, and all of a sudden you start getting letters to go visit courses and see come to this camp, come to that camp, and the good thing about golf is it's a number. If you shoot a good enough number, they come see you.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah. Landon, what kind of places have you got to play outside of the state? Have you talked about Arizona that you got to go play there? Or?
Yes, we have played a lot, and me and Dyson have played a lot in Arizona, and just a lot Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and those are the main ones for sure.
Yeah. You had a favorite course that you've got a chance to go to outside the area? One that was like, boy, this is this is nice.
I would probably say in Arizona, probably Talking Stick Resort. That one is a really nice course. And I think that's about it. That's a really nice one for sure.
And that one's in the Phoenix area, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Cool. So obviously golf is something you're hoping to play college golf after this, I would imagine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. You're just a freshman, so you're obviously schoolwork stuff. Have you started thinking about things that you want to focus on studies wise in college, or not sure yet?
Probably business.
Business. Okay. You want to stay in the golf world, if you're not playing it, maybe. Yeah. Something along those lines. Okay. Mm-hmm. Very good. All right. Cheyenne, how about you? You're a senior. You get to graduate here in a couple months. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm excited.
Do you know what's coming up next? Are you going to try to play college golf or do more golf after this? Or
Right now, I don't think so. Just go to college, study law.
Okay. Do you know where you're headed to college at?
At MSU.
Okay. So do your pre-law stuff there, and then have you thought about what law school you want to go to? You want to go to UNM? Or
I have not yet.
Okay.
I don't think UNM, no.
No, not UNM. Okay. Well, hey, I'm an Aggie too, so I can understand that completely. Very good. All right. We'll look forward to see how you do. What got you interested in law?
I've wanted to be a lawyer since I was in 4th grade. I don't know. I just always wanted to help people like that.
Okay. 4th grade. Wow, that's impressive. Very good.
But I've changed my mind since then. But it keeps going back.
Okay.
I keep swaying back.
All right. Do you know what kind of law you want to work on?
I want to do corporate law, like with businesses. They make the most money.
Okay, nice. And obviously, college golf is something that you're hoping to get it into. Do you have a dream place that if you got a chance to go play golf?
I mean, there's always those Florida State, Auburn University. Those are all cool. But when I go, I really want to make sure that even if it's not a top school, I want to make sure that I'm playing 100% and getting myself out there, because I don't want to go sit the bench at even if it's one of the top schools in the country. I just want to go play and play my best.
Yeah. Well, and you look at some of the guys that are on the PGA Tour, and they've played at some really random colleges out there. So it's it really doesn't matter where you go, kind of thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Landon, I didn't ask you. I mean, if you had a dream college to choose from, is there one you'd like to go to?
Pretty much the same thing as him. If I go to a really big school, I don't want to just sit the bench for no reason and be unnoticed just sitting there. I'd rather be at a D2 being the number 1 there instead of being at a D1 being the number 7 or 6, something like that.
So biggest thing is for you guys, you just want to be playing golf at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense. Dyson, I mean, school-wise, have you thought about what you want to do and, if you go to college and what you want to study?
Probably business, too.
Okay. Same kind of thing, stay in the world of golf if you're not playing it?
Yeah, for sure. I would, for sure, even if I'm still going to be playing golf the rest of my life.
Well, for sure.
Sport.
Yeah.
Love it.
Just maybe not on a professional level or anything like that. But
it might not, but
yeah. We don't know. We may see both you guys on the PGA Tour before too long. You never know how that might work out. So obviously expectations are pretty high for this group this year. You guys feel like if you play your best, you can be right there among the very best in the state this season.
Yeah, we've got to keep a good mental outlook. We're working daily on our mental discipline and strategies on the golf course. That's an area that we do have to get better in. A couple of us are having a little emotional issues. Maybe some of us get a little frantic whenever we get a little panicky. Does that fit anybody in here? Yeah, okay. She knows who it is. And some of us get a little angry when it doesn't do exactly what we want. And you can't play golf that way. That's a thing. So those are the two areas that we're spending a lot of time on is creating the correct approach all the time. And these guys, they've all played enough that they're somewhere along that level. So if you watch those guys on tour, what they do mentally and emotionally is really, really high level stuff down to where we are. These guys are they're not at the beginning of that spectrum. We're in the middle there somewhere, and we're just trying to improve it all the time. And it's an area that you got to improve.
Yeah.
And they know it, I know it. We're working at it, and every time we play, every day's a little bit of a learning opportunity. How can we make it better tomorrow? What can we do a little better tomorrow? And as long as we keep that mindset, I think it'll work out for us in the long run.
Yeah. Cheyenne, how have you found what helps you with your mental game when you're out there? What are the things that you try to focus on that maybe helps you a little bit maybe when things aren't going exactly the way that you want it to?
Just like one shot at a time and not to focus on like your total score.
If you had a bad shot on the last hole or the last shot, you just got to try to forget it?
Yeah. Try.
It's hard to do that, that's for sure. Dyson, for you, I mean, is that kind of the same thing? Just kind of have a short memory out there?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta forget it like in the matter of like 3 seconds. I mean, I'll think about it a little after, like if I hit a bad shot, like how did I hit that? But then before I'm even like walking to the next shot, you just gotta forget about it. You're taking it one shot at a time. I'm not even thinking about any total score whenever I'm playing good. When I'm playing bad, I start thinking. But you got to just keep it one shot at a time, hit fairways, do the best that you can one shot at a time. You can't look at everything at a time.
Yeah. Landon, how about you? I mean, how do you keep the mental game strong when you're out there? Because, I mean, it's super easy to kind of get inside your head and things don't go quite as well for you. What's your tactics with that?
I mean, I'd say just after a bad shot, just how can you make that next shot better? To be honest, that's kind of what goes through my head after hitting a bad shot or just not the shot I wanted. Just try and hit that next shot better.
Are you kind of like Dyson in that when you're out there, especially if it's a good round, you're not even thinking about what your score is, you're just going out there and hitting shots?
Nope, I'm trying to score as best as possible.
Okay, so that you do focus, you know that your second shot, third shot, fourth shot kind of thing out there?
They matter.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
An ongoing thing.
Okay.
There's some of the kids get real pessimistic about stuff. You'll hear stuff about, I can't hit my driver, or I can't putt, or they've all said these things. My job's to go around and redirect that thinking, because in the end, if you're going to be good at golf, you have to be optimistic about how this is going to turn out, where we're going to get to at the end of this. Kids, it's adults too. They can get a little down on themselves, and so I don't do a lot, but I do that. I do my assistant Eddie Schlenzig and Jennifer Garcia. That's one of the things I talk to them about is keeping the kids in the right mindset as we go, and not beating up on themselves, because they will do that.
Is that, I mean, I'll ask you guys, we'll finish up with this. I mean, Dyson, in terms of what you feel like the coaches really help you with, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just you out there, you're playing, you have to make the shots and that. But in a tournament, I mean, is that something you feel like the coaches help you with, is just kind of keep an even keel out there?
They really do. Like, coach will come up to me and he'll see that I might be a little frustrated, and he'll be like, hey, just brush it off, you're good, like one shot at a time, remember that. Like, and I'll tell him, like, hey, I'm not hitting this good. He'll be like, well, like, he doesn't really tell you, like other coaches will be like, well, then try this. He just tells you just to work with it and do the best that you can.
Okay. Cheyenne, where do you find the biggest aid with the coaches? Is it during tournament time? Is it when you guys are practicing? Where do you feel like you get the biggest help?
During tournament time, I can get a bit, I don't know what the word for it is.
Nervy.
Frantic. Let's go with frantic.
Yeah.
So it's more similar to what Dyson was talking about, keeping that even keel and not getting too up or down one way or the other.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Landon, how about you? Where do you feel like you get the biggest advantage when the coaches come and help you, whether it's on the course or on the driving range on a day off?
Probably when coach brings me snacks.
Snacks? Okay.
Yep, that's one thing for sure.
So if you feed them, they're happy.
Aren't we all, though?
Yeah, give them some food. Yeah.
What's your favorite snack that he brings you?
Definitely applesauce.
Applesauce. Okay, he's an applesauce
they
guy.
Like the applesauce. Yeah, you got me, but we go through a lot of applesauce.
All right.
We might have some new additions to the snack.
We're working on a different nutrition plan. trying to get a little more healthy than what we've. I hate to say this. We're going to say goodbye to the Oreos and probably the multicolored goldfish and
Hello
go
to the apples.
I'm good with that.
Is that going to be okay, Cheyenne?
I'll live.
Okay. So are you going to miss the Oreos or the goldfish more?
The Oreos.
The Oreos. Okay. Very good. All right. Well, we look forward to a great season. You guys are in Cruces coming up on the 10th of March for the first tournament of the spring season. And you're making visits, I'm sure, up to Rodoso this year. And
Yeah, we're playing rest of our schedule. We're going up to the 5A preview at San Juan Country Club in Farmington on April 7th. Then we're back in Ruidoso on April 14th and 15th, over in Roswell on April 2021. We're back in Las Cruces for the district tournament at New Mexico State on May 3rd, whatever that is. Then we're back to the state tournament in Farmington on May, whatever the Monday and Tuesday after Mother's Day is, because I always get in trouble for this from the kids' parents, my wife, and half the community that I talk to.
because you're playing a Sunday.
Because we go on Sunday of Mother's Day. This is, and I apologize now beforehand. But we're doing that.
Yeah, because you play a practice round, don't you? That Sunday
Yeah,
beforehand?
we do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we wish you all the best luck this season. I hope the snack situation goes the way that you all want it to, but more importantly, the golf does as well. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thank you.